So in the previous class, we have seen Castigliono's second theorem and its application to continuous beams. Okay. So today we'll see Castigliono's second theorem application to frames. So let us understand this with an example. A portal frame ABCD hinged at base is loaded with a point load of 20 kN at the middle of segment BC, and a horizontal distributed load of 1.2 kilonewton per meter is acting on column AB. The vertical member AB and CD are having same cross section and for horizontal member BC I BC is equals to 2 times IAB. Let us solve this. So we have been given a portal frame ABCD. So let us say this is the portal frame. total frame is hinged at the basis, so this is hinged here, and it is also hinged here. It is subjected to a point load of 20 kN per segment BC. Let us say this is A, this is B, C, and D. So on segment BC, there is a point load of 20 kN. And a horizontal distributed load of 1.2 kN per meter on column AB. So there is a UDL (1.2 kN per meter). The length of this member is 5 meter, this member 4 meter, this member 5 meter. Let the inertia of this member be I. This will be 2I, and this is okay. So this is given to us. Now let us first find the SI of this frame. The SI will be here. The reactions are 1, 2, 3, 4. Let this be HA, this will be VA, VD, HD. So we have 4 unknown and available equilibrium condition is 3. So SI is 1. So we have one extra member, one redundant present in the frame. So what we can do, we can assume any one of these as redundant and apply the Castiglione second theorem. So we can choose let us choose HA as redundant. So let us say this is equal to H. So now this frame can be treated as Q is the redundant equals to H. So now we have 3 unknowns and we have 3 equilibrium conditions, so we can solve this. But the problem is it will be in terms of h. So what value of h uh, will be the uh, will be so for that we will apply the Castiglione second theorem here, so that we get the value of h. For that, let us make a table, or let us first find the reactions. So applying equilibrium condition, we can now find VA, VD, HD in terms of H. So the first condition, that is sigma H equals to 0, implies Q, that is this redundant force which is acting from left to right, plus this UDL, that is 1.2 into 5, okay, then plus HD equals to 0. So this implies, now the value of Q is H. So we have H plus this 1.2 into 5 is 6. So H plus 6 plus HD equals to 0. So we can say HD is equal to minus of H plus 6 okay. This is equal to minus H plus 6. Then applying second equilibrium condition, that is sigma m, taking moment at A equals to 0, implies VD into 4, this, okay, in anti-clockwise. Now HD into 0, because the line of action of this force coincides with point A, so there will not be any moment. So minus HD into 0, because the lever arm distance is 0, minus 20 into 2, this distance is 2 meter, total is 4 meter. It is acting in clockwise direction. Then minus 1.2 into pi square by 2. This will be equal to 0. So you will have VD is equal to, this term is 0, this will go on the right, so it will be 40 plus 15, 40 plus 15 equals to 0. So we can say VD is equals to 55. Oh, VD into 4, so divide by 4. This is 4 VD. So VD is equals to 13.75. Now we apply the third condition, sigma B equals to 0. This implies VA plus VD minus this 20 equals to 0. So therefore VA plus 13.75 minus 20 equals to 0. So VA will be equal to 6.25. So this is equal to 6.25 kilometer. So we have found all the unknowns in terms of h. So now we can formulate the slope deflection equation, this moment equation. So for that, let us make a table. Segment, origin, limit, flexural rigidity, and the moment equation. And here we have only one redundant, so it will be del mx by del h. First segment, let us take a segment here at a distance x from A. So the moment equation will be for segment AB, origin is A, limit will be 0 to 5, flexural rigidity is EI. The moment equation about that will be h into x, and as per our sign convention would be sagging as positive. So we are actually on the left side of the segment, so it will be clockwise as positive. Now this h will cause anti-clockwise moment, because this h into x will cause anti-clockwise moment on the left side of this section. So it will be minus. So minus h into x then we have a UDL here. This UDL will cause clockwise moment, okay, and clockwise is positive on the left side of the cycle. So it will be plus 1.2 times x square by 2. 1.2 is the intensity, x is the distance. So 1.2 into x is the load, and it will be acting at x by 2 distance. So it will be 1.2 x square by 2. Now partial differentiation of this with respect to h will be minus x. Okay. Next we take segment BE. Let us call this as E, because the moment equation will be different on the left of E and on the right of E. So let us take on the left of E a section at a distance x from B. So the moment equation will be segment BE, origin as B, limit will be 0 to 2, because this point load is at a distance 2 meter. Okay, this is at 2 meter. Flexural rigidity here is 2 EI because I is twice of column member, so it is 2 EI. The moment equation will be this B. Again, we are on the left side of the section, so for left of the section, clockwise is positive. So now this VA into X, this VA into X will cause clockwise moment. So, and value of VA is 6.25. So it will be 6.25 into X. Okay, or simply we can write 6.25X. Then this horizontal force H will cause anti-clockwise moment about this segment. So H into pi minus pi H minus pi H. Then this UDL will cause, again it will cause anti-clockwise moment about this section. So it will be 1.2 into pi minus 1.2 into pi is the load multiplied by pi by 2. Okay. About this level, it will cause 1.2 into pi into 2.5 is the moment about this. So this is the total moment. So partial differentiation of this with respect to H will give minus pi because we have this term. Okay, here we have this term containing H. Okay, now instead of taking section on section from here to here, we can do one thing. We can take a section here, and this time this section will be on the right of, you are standing inside. Let us assume that you are standing inside. Okay, and you are looking this plane. So when you look this way, this will be the left of the section. Okay, when you look this way, this will be the left of the section, this will be the right. When you look this way, this will be the right side. Okay, this will be the right side, and this will be the left side. On this side, this will be the left side, and this will be the right side. This is the left side, this is right side. Okay, now on this section, this was left side. Okay, we have taken the forces about left section. Again on this side, we have taken forces about left of the section. Now this side, now for this we'll take section to the right of this, right of the section. We'll take forces summation of moments to the right of the section. So for that we will use this sign convention, that is anti-clockwise as positive. So now why we do this way? Because if I take as a left section left left of this, then I have to sum all these forces about this. Means to take the moment on the left side, you have to sum all these forces, and if you take on the right side, you have to sum only these forces. So that's the advantage. So let us take this DC. Okay, DC member, origin as D, limit is 0 to 5, flexural rigidity is EI, and the moment equation here, it will be, here sign convention is anti-clockwise as positive. Now this HD, which is acting upward, it will cause anti-clockwise moment. So HD into X, HD into X. Now what is the value of HD? HD is minus h plus 6. So substitute here minus h plus 6. So that will be the moment. And the partial differentiation of this with respect to h, we have only one term with multiple of h, so it will be minus x. Similarly, let us take another segment, that is CE. Okay. Now we are taking a section here. Again, at a distance x from C. Okay, and we will be taking the right of section. Okay, we will be taking right section. Here also we take right section. Here we take left section. Here we do left section. So by taking the rights of the section, we have only these two forces about this section. So let the origin be C. Limit will be 0 to 2 and flexural rigidity will be 2 EI. Now the moment about X section will be this moment HD into 5. Okay, that will be the moment at C. So HD into 5, and this moment will be in anti-clockwise. As per the sign convention, anti-clockwise is positive. So HD into 5. But what is HD? HD is minus h plus 6. Okay, so minus h plus 6 into 5, and this VD. So VD and perpendicular distance of VD from the section is x. Again, this is causing anti-clockwise moment. So anti-clockwise moment on the right of the section. So it will be plus VD x. Okay. Now what is the value of VD? 13.75. So we can substitute here 13.75. So 13.75 into x. Now again, partial differentiation of this moment equation with respect to h. So we have this 5h. Okay, so the partial differentiation of this will be minus 5. Okay, so now we can use Castiglione's second theorem. Using Castiglione's second theorem, delta is equal to del u by del h equals to 0 implies integration from this implies integration from 0 to 5, first equation for segment AB. This is actually like this, integration from 0 to L mx by EI del mx by del h dx equals to 0. So this implies moment equation is this minus hx plus 0.6 x square, the 1.2 by 2, that is 0.6, whole divided by EI into this del mx by del h, that is minus x dx. Now second term 0 to 2, this limit, moment equation is this 6.25 x minus 5h minus this 1.2 into 5 square by 2, that is 15. So this is 15, this value is 15. Whole divided by 2 ei and multiply by minus 5 dx plus integration from 0 to 5 this segment. Moment equation is minus x plus 6 into x whole divided by ei times minus x dx plus integration from 0 to 2. Moment equation is minus h plus 6 into 5 plus 13.75x whole divided by 2 ei, because for this segment we have 2 ei, multiply by minus 5 dx. This should be equal to 0. Summation of all this should be equal to 0. So you can integrate this, and solving this integration you will have on the left side you will have an equation in terms of h, and on the right side you will have some value. So finally you will get some value of h from this, and the value of h will be 3.51 kilonewton. Simply what you can do, you integrate the in calci the term the coefficients of h, okay, and then calculate the remaining values. So the summation of integral of remaining values divided by the coefficient of h, that will give you this value. So that you can try in your calci. So this is the value of the redundant force Q. Okay, this is the redundant Q. Now once you know the value of Q, you can find the other redundant, like other unknowns, like HD will be equals to minus h plus 6. VA is actually not affected by this h, because uh, it is at the same level, so no moment caused by this h. So VA will be 6.25 and this will be 13.75. So this is how you can solve indeterminate frames using Castigliano's second theorem. Here we have solved an example having degree of indeterminacy 1. This is the degree of indeterminacy. Degree of static indeterminacy. Okay. If higher degree of static indeterminacy is there, suppose you have a problem in which SI is 2, then you will have two such columns, okay, H1 and H2, and you will have two simultaneous equations. Here we have only one unknown and one equation. When you have two unknowns, you will have two unknowns and two simultaneous equations, so that can be solved by solving two simultaneous equations. Suppose you have three static indeterminacy, then you will have H1, H2 and H3. Three columns have to be prepared, and you will have three simultaneous equations, and solving the three simultaneous equations you will get the value of H1, H2 and H3. Okay, so try solving examples with higher degree of indeterminacy from the reference textbooks. Okay, so with this we stop here, and in the next class we'll take example of a truss. We'll see Castiglio's second theorem and its application to truss. So if you have any doubt, we can discuss now.